Hello, my name's Tom and this is Proper Honest Tech. WWDC 2021 started on Monday of this week, with the keynote speech kicking off the week-long event. Looking online, and if I'm honest, thinking about my own feelings on the event, the main word that keeps springing up is disappointment, mainly down to the fact that the entire tech community seemed convinced that Apple would use the event to announce 2 new MacBook Pros. They didn't, with the event truly being a software-only affair, a glimpse at what's coming in future versions of Apple's various operating systems and the Apple ecosystem as a whole. But when you consider the event as being purely about the software, there was actually a lot to get excited about. So in this video, I'm going to list the 10 things that I'm most excited about coming off the back of WWDC 2021, the improvements to software that we'll be enjoying in just a few short months' time. You can see what you think, and do let me know in the comments below if you agree with me or if you think I should be getting more excited about something else. 1. FaceTime becoming Zoom. I really like FaceTime. I enjoy the simplicity of it and the fact that for the most part it just works with minimal fuss. But some of my friends are Android users, so over the course of the pandemic, when my buddies and I wanted to have virtual beers over the web, we had to rely on apps like House Party and Zoom to make it happen. Zoom, in particular, was a nightmare, with different people having issues connecting and time limitations per call. So I really like the idea of FaceTime becoming a cross-platform communication tool, complete with encryption and the ability to set up calls in the future, sending out links to your friends. I'm also interested to see how portrait mode for blurring out your background and spatial audio for FaceTime calls works, although I'll reserve judgment for both of those until I've had a chance to try it out. SharePlay, I think, could actually be pretty cool if you're in a long-distance relationship or maybe working away from your partner or your kids, but I'm not sure it's something that I'll be using all that often. 2. More intelligent photo search. I already love the deep search capabilities of photos on the Apple products, the ability to search for keywords like car or dog, for example, and your Photos app accurately serving you up images from years ago that contain whatever it is you're looking for. So I'm really excited to see what live text and visual lookup bring in terms of ability to both find specific images quicker and more easily, but also to be able to then bounce straight out of the Photos app to find out more about the things included in your photos. Being able to quickly snap a picture of a restaurant while you're out and about, and then just tap on the image to see the menu when you're back at home, for example. And the translate function is going to be great for when we're able to travel again, taking my reliance away from the very capable Google Translate. 3. Improvements to health. This feature isn't one that I'm excited about per se, but I do think it's worth including as I think it could have a massive real-world impact for a lot of people. If you've got kids or even grown-ups who have a dependency on you, then with their permission, you can now access their health data on your device. So, for example, an elderly parent living alone who wears an Apple Watch, allowing you to keep an eye on things like their overall mobility and things like alerts for fall detection or irregular heart patterns. Apple also showed how, in time, you'll be able to share your health data securely with your GP. It does mean that the days of lying to your doctor about how much exercise you actually get might be coming to an end, but then it does also mean that you can give your doctor accurate data, which has to be a good thing. 4. Improvements to Maps. I've been an Apple Maps convert for a couple of years now. I love how it looks compared to Google Maps, and Apple keep adding functionality that I felt has been missing, like traffic lights, speed cameras, hazards, etc. The reliability issues of the past are pretty much gone now, and even in small towns like the one we're currently living in, the level of detail in terms of buildings and road accuracy is pretty incredible. So the new updates coming to Maps, things like super detailed city views, yet more improvements to the driving experience and augmented reality at street level to help you find your way around, are really exciting to me. 5. iCloud Plus. I worked for a cybersecurity company for a number of years, so I know just how important keeping yourself safe when you're online is, and it would appear that Apple are now baking some pretty impressive functionality into their software as part of iCloud Plus. For example, iCloud Private Relay essentially sounds like a VPN built into Safari, encrypting data as it leaves your device and bouncing you off of 2 internet relays to stop people from using your data to build a profile about you. Hide My Email lets you instantly generate a random fake email that forwards to your personal inbox, a bit like you can do at the moment with Sign In with Apple ID, helping you to keep your actual email address off of the web and more private. 6. Improvements to iPad OS. I'm bundling these things together into one point because, in my opinion, these are things that should have been part of iPad OS for a while now, rather than Apple selling them as new features now. But I'm pleased to see widgets appearing properly on iPad, App Library appearing, and multitasking being fixed, with a much easier process of opening apps up at the same time, a shelf at the bottom for quickly bouncing from one app to another, and a better split view. On a side note, I have to say I'm so pleased that I didn't upgrade my 2020 iPad Pro to an M1-powered iPad Pro, and I can absolutely understand why right now a lot of people are returning their massively overpowered and hugely limited M1 iPads. Let's face it, until Apple brings some Pro apps to the iPad, there's nothing about this latest release that makes the M1 iPad make any sense at all right now. 7. Quick Notes. I need to see Quick Notes in action to really get a feel for how useful it will actually be, but as an Apple Notes power user, I really like the idea of being able to quickly scratch down a note on whatever device I'm using and not have to worry about filing it neatly away. I think someone in the Keynote described this as being like sticky notes for 2021, and that's how I'm seeing it. Apple always glams stuff like this up with notes about hiking trips and vacation research, but for most of us, this is going to be invaluable when you're perhaps on a phone call and need to quickly make a note of something, or you see something on the TV that you want to research later on, or perhaps jotting a conversation with a colleague down at work on your way to a meeting that you know you're going to action a bit later. 8. Improvements to Notes. I'll be honest, I was expecting a little bit more from the Notes update this year. Apple seemed to be moving along a you don't need any other apps ever path with many of their updates, so I figured it would make sense for Apple to take aim at apps like Slack and Notion by creating a truly all-in-one note-taking and team collaboration experience. It isn't there yet, but I do appreciate features like hashtags and proper in-app mentions for better collaboration and organization of notes coming in the next release. 9. Shortcuts coming to Mac. I really like the Shortcuts feature, even though I fully admit I'm only just starting to really understand its full potential on iPhone and iPad. The ability to string together different functions at the push of a button has huge potential, so it makes sense that this functionality would also come to Mac. Sending images straight to a specific chat group could be great for work. Opening two apps that you often use in split screen would be great for productivity. 10. Universal Control. Without a doubt, the feature I'm most excited about is Universal Control, and I can't wait to see how this works. I made a video recently where I showed you how you can use your iPad as a second screen for your Mac, but in order to do this, you have to basically turn the feature on in your Mac, then go to Settings to tell your Mac where your iPad is. It looks like this new feature works with proximity, knowing that your Mac is next to your MacBook, which is next to your iPad, and allowing you to not only switch your mouse and keyboard control from one device seamlessly to another, but also to allow you to literally drag things from one device into another. This feature looks absolutely amazing and actually begins to make a setup where you own a MacBook, an iMac, and an iPad make much more sense, allowing you to become a multitasking god with just one keyboard and mouse. So there you go, that's the 10 things I'm most excited about coming out of WWDC 2021. Yes, we're going to have to wait a while now for new hardware, but there's loads of exciting software developments to look forward to. What did you think? Is there something in particular that you're excited about that I've missed from this list? If there is, drop me a comment, let me know what it is and why. And as ever, if you liked this video, do please consider leaving me a like on the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.